Did things just take a turn with Jalen Ramsey in Miami? Oh, absolutely. And it didn't stop there. The story is brewing, and it's loaded with tension, raw edges, and the kind of cultural shakeup you can almost feel in the locker room. Let's feel it together. Imagine a seasoned cornerback, someone brought in not just for his skills, but for his presence. Yet that presence starts to feel more like a weight. That was Jalen Ramsey. Reports suggest he arrived on the scene already tightrope walking the line between confidence and disruption. He was seen arriving late to practices, not once or twice, but enough to send eyebrows shooting up in the front office. And when he finally showed up, it was like he came with baggage, and a defiance package included. Ramsey's relationship with then defensive coordinator Vic Fangio and head coach Mike McDaniel? Rough. Rough enough that it didn't just ricochet between the three of them. It echoed through ranks, shifting dynamics, sowing seeds of unease. You could feel it. Others started noticing. They paid attention. And before you know it, it wasn't just Ramsey anymore. It was a ripple of doubt and frustration creeping through the squad. Enough was enough. So what did Miami do? They pulled the trigger. They shipped Ramsey off to Pittsburgh. But it wasn't a solo trip. Jonnu Smith, the tight end who by then had become something of a soft landing for the offense, went too. In return, Vamp Minkah Fitzpatrick. Yes, the very same safety they had drafted back in 2018, back when hope hadn't yet crashed into reality. Now, years and miles removed, Fitzpatrick is back in the aqua and orange, and this time the timing feels charged, as though the team is grabbing a second chance to rewrite a chapter that drifted off course the first time around. Let's take a moment. Minkah Fitzpatrick returns. What does that even mean on the field? You've got a ball-hawking safety who knows the system, who's been molded in part by the very coaches who'd ask him to adjust his approach the first time around. Now he's back. Could this be a better fit? A smoother ride? Are the lessons learned turning into motivation? The chemistry, the vibe. There's an emotional undercurrent here, a momentum that's hard to pin down but easy to feel. There's adrenaline in reconnection, in returning. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh gets its guy. They bring in Ramsey to pair with Joey Porter Jr., a promising young cornerback. And hey, they don't just get a cornerback. They get Jonnu Smith to buff up the tight end room for Aaron Rodgers, because what major QB doesn't love another reliable option in the middle? Pittsburgh may just have scored big. They added veteran seasoning to their less experienced core. It's a move that wagers on chemistry, mentorship, balance. That Jonnu Smith and Ramsey package has resonance. Rodgers is a magnet for talent, and the Steelers are now gifting him more toys to play with. Back to Miami. This trade was more than just bucket switching. Sure, shipping off Ramsey also meant cutting loose a hefty contract, $26.6 million scheduled this year. That's a financial weight lifted. Now that cap space, it could go to refinement, depth, alignment. Could it underpin a reshaped offense? Reinforced secondary? That breathing room matters, especially when the spark is gone but the structure still creaks. Let's look at the core. Head coach Mike McDaniel, a visionary, but one with pressure nipping at his heels. 3 seasons in, and playoffs have been the engine. But last year, we veered off track. 8-9. No postseason. The buzz in South Florida. It's turning. Questions are louder. Optimism still pulses, but shadows loom. Do they trust the rebuild? Is McDaniel still the man to steer it? Even with the resets, the final whistle last year still stings. And the broader setting? Miami hasn't won a playoff game since Y2K. That's decades of waiting. It's not lost on anyone. Fans are yearning. Analysts are circling. And within that tension, moves like Ramsey out and Fitzpatrick and feel like attempts to pivot narrative, to reignite potential, to chase redemption. There's history in the trenches and memory in the stands. But are we painting it too rosy? Or too dramatic? The truth lies in execution. Now that Fitzpatrick is back, will he mesh? Will he assert himself? Lead a secondary that's still finding its footing? Is this bounce-back moment for the franchise calling his name? Or will pockets of discord linger? Can the culture heal and progress? Can they gel? Then there's Jalen Ramsey, now in Pittsburgh. How'll he land? Will the Steelers' culture respond differently? Will that environment suit his swagger, his style? Maybe. Does Ramsey find himself bonded with Joey Porter Jr.? Could Pittsburgh become the perfect backdrop for his talent and temperament to thrive? Time will show. But for Miami, the narrative has clear direction. Out with the friction, and with a familiar face and a new tone to echo through the locker room.